some stuff separate in the RI site, but you know, the large majority of the information gets sent up to the mothership.
Okay, got a couple more people coming in at this point. I'd like to start off by just going around the room and checking in on everybody. I'm going to unmute you all, but I'll go to your name and give me, you know, a 2-minute, introduce yourself to, or not even a minute, introduce yourself to everybody if they don't know you, any club positions, and everybody, I'm just going to unmute you all. Try to be quiet, okay? So I'll call the names because I've got them on the screen in a certain order. Okay, Ann, we'll start with you.
Ann Molina, relatively new member, West Point, Highland Falls, and I've been chosen to be on the membership committee.
Okay, you're voluntold. Okay, Sue.
Sue Bennett, president of Wappingers Falls Club and incoming AGA.
Great. Leslie.
Hi, I'm Leslie Smith with the Greendale Rotary, and I've been asked to chair the membership, so my president asked me to sit in on this.
Okay, Dory.
Hi, Dory Driscoll with the Newburgh Rotary Club, and I was asked to chair with the incoming officers the membership committee.
Okay, Jeff Lambert.
Hi, my name is Jeff Lambert. I'm an arborist in Nyack, and I'm a newer Rotarian here in Nyack. Larry actually inducted me last June.
Yep.
So I am the membership chair. I've also been elected to be vice president next year. And right now I'm just excited to be doing something with Rotary again.
Great. Lillian.
Lillian Jones. I'm with the Lake Mayapack Rotary, and I've been the president this month.
Steve Lava.
I'm this year's president.
Steve.
Steve Laback from the Highland Rotary Club. I'm the current membership chair and have been because I keep running unopposed.
And you do a great job, Steve.
Okay, District Governor Cindy.
Oh, hello, everyone. Yes, I'm your district governor, Cindy Kish from the Membership Club, and I'm happy to see everyone's smiling faces today.
Okay. Ed.
Hi, I'm Ed Cookie. I'm with the Rotary of Southeast. I'm the current membership chair and the future membership chair.
Pete. Peter.
Hi, I'm Peter Sullivan, AG for Region 6, and happy to be here. There's a lot of membership support for us out there, and I'd like to learn more about it.
Okay. I don't know your first name. Devolk?
Debbie Valentine,
Oh,
Port Jervis
Debbie.
Rotary Club.
Okay, Deb. Good.
I'm on the membership committee for Port Jervis Rotary Club.
Okay, thank you. Travis, you're still, you're muted, Travis. Yeah, okay. Travis?
All right, Travis Podolik. I'm in the Warwick Valley Rotary, and I'm going to be starting to work on new membership and recruitment as part of our membership service committee for the Warwick chapter.
Great. You're a pretty big club too, right?
We're good size. We got a really good group. It kind of stinks that we can't get together more with everything going on, but we're trying to do the best we can with technology and still impact where we can. But
okay.
As you know, it's a struggle for everyone.
Thanks. Okay, Andrew.
Andrew Saccone, president-elect for the Newburgh Rotary Club. I've been a Rotarian for a little over 2 years, and Dory is our incoming membership committee chair.
Wait a minute, you've been a Rotarian a little over 2 years, and you're president-elect. Did you go to the men's room when they had nominations?
Well, the rule at the Newburgh Rotary is when you show up for a meeting, when you don't show up for a meeting, you become, that's why Dory's in membership committee. She missed a meeting, so that's how that works in our club.
Okay. Darcy?
Hi, I'm Darcy from Poughkeepsie, Arlington. I am the current membership chair and incoming president-elect.
Great, thanks. Michelle?
Hi, Michelle Andrick, Executive Leadership Coach and Membership Chair of the Rhinebeck Rotary Club.
Uh-oh, Lewis's club. She's the spy, guys, so just be careful. She's bringing everything back to Lewis. Okay. This says Steve's iPad, but you're obviously not
wait.
Steve.
That's probably me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Joyce Heaton. I'm from the Millbrook Rotary Club.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm glad to be from home club. And I also want to say, I think it's great there's an arborist in the group because we have a wood scientist who is a former member who I'd love to get in. So the connection.
Yeah.
Okay, Lauren?
Hi, my name's Lauren McCune. I'm the president-elect of the Port Jervis Rotary Club. I'm relatively new, so I've been doing a lot of these online seminars.
Great. You're coming up to your 100th anniversary. That's supposed to be in July, right?
Yes.
Is it on hold at this point, or you still going ahead with it, you think?
Well, it's still planned, but of course, you know, we don't know what's going to be possible in July.
Okay.
It may be postponed.
Got it. Okay. Ed?
Hi all, Ed Lynch from the Warwick Valley Rotary. I've been involved with Rotary since 2008. I think I was vice president for 6 of those years, and they finally convinced me to become president-elect, and I'm honored to have that opportunity here.
Okay. Tony, I'll come to you last. Sal.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sal.
Hi, I'm Sal Gambino. I'm the membership chair for the Carmel Rotary Club. Good morning, everybody.
Okay. Miss Carrie?
I'm Carrie Hernandez from the Patterson Club, Assistant Governor for Region 7, and filling in for our club's membership chair today.
Okay, and Angela Lee?
This is Angela. I am from Port Jervis Rotary Club. I am now president. Thank you.
Okay, and last but not least, Governor-elect Tony.
President-elect sounds good to me, actually. Cindy, I know is on the countdown clock. My clock is the other way. I want time to slow down. She wants time to speed up. I think we all want time to speed up during this pandemic, obviously, so we can get through to the other side. But I'm looking forward to July 1st. It's certainly unorthodox for us. I've been in Rotary since 1985. That's why my hair is white. So this certainly is a first for all of us. I just by a show of hands, could we find out how many of your clubs are meeting by Zoom? You can either do the electronic hand or the human hand. So that's pretty darn
Hey,
good.
you
Is
know,
that
Tony,
everybody?
Tony, maybe it's easier. Let's get a show of hands of whose clubs are not.
Well, we don't want to go from the negative.
No, just want to know.
No, it's good. That's good to hear. I mean, and Sue, if you guys need some help with that, we have a lot of resources in the district, Cindy, right?
Correct, we do. We're happy to assist and help in any way possible. We want to keep clubs going. Our biggest fear is clubs going dark right now and losing members, so.
The issue that we're having is that my club is a lot older. And
Right.
not a lot of them do anything on the computer. We do have our board meetings though via Zoom. And
So-
we're
so-
keeping in touch.
Yeah. I mean,
Good.
Sue, even if you had, how big is the club, Wappingers Club?
32.
Even if you had 15 people or 12 people or 10, and believe we have in the Highland Club, our newsletter guy, Rafael Diaz, is 82. And Steve Lawback will attest that he's on top of his game. I mean, look, basically, if you do email or if you buy anything on Amazon, you can go on a Zoom meeting. So it's just a click of a button, and it's not that tough.
Oh, I know that. I've spoken to a couple of our members, and put it out there that I will schedule one, so I
Yeah.
think I will do it for this Thursday.
Just do it. Just do it. You'll get your board members and you'll get maybe a few others and a few others will come on. And I mean, Cindy, I think the goal is to try to get, every district at least Zooming, right? I mean, we want to try to keep connected.
We would like to have every club, at least, as you said, Sue, your board is meeting online. At
Yes.
least if there's some type of connection, even if you need to do a conference call, if they aren't familiar with that technology, but just having a way to connect. So many people are feeling isolated and alone right now. So it's just extremely important for us to be able to nourish our Rotary family right now.
We have had some of our members sign on to your Thursday calls at 4 o'clock, Sam.
Fantastic. And that was one of the reasons why we started those,
Yep.
were for clubs that weren't meeting, and also for a way for clubs that are meeting to be able to really in real time find out what's happening, because so many things are changing right now with RI and in the district, that to just have that, I mean, every week I have new information on what Rotary is doing to help us, with the COVID response, whether it's more district funds, whether it's, ways to volunteer. So we want to, be able to have a platform. And as I think everyone here knows, next week we have a tremendous speaker. Incoming President Holger Knack will be on at 4 p.m. If you have not heard him speak before, he is extremely inspiring, and he is really the right person at the right time coming in to the next year for Tony's year. So I would encourage everyone to get that across.
I want to second that, Cindy. I hope we have a couple of hundred people on the call. He's amazing, and you won't forget him. He's very inspirational. He's a down-to-earth kind of a person, but he's in charge of 1.2 million members in our organization. So,
Right.
Darcy, Sue, the other idea I have is just find a big parking lot and everybody drive there and roll your windows down and just speak to each other through your car.
And discount liquor on Route 9, yes.
We've
Yeah,
talked
just
about that as well.
Pick an empty retail parking lot, of which there's millions of.
Yeah, to tie Holger back to membership though, one of the things that I'm hoping that he talks about is he is a Rotarian from Germany, and Germany does not have a retention problem. They say in Germany, the only way you leave Rotary is feet first. So he has some really good, so he's really great when it comes to membership. So I would think that everyone on this call would want to come in and hear what he has to say about membership and how his club and how Rotarians in Germany are able to retain their members.
Tony and Cindy, it's Darcy. I would also mention that our membership group, we have a small committee right now of 3 members who are very active, and every single week we reach out and call every single member. And
Wow.
then we report that at our Zoom meeting, so that even if those members are not there, we can talk about what our members are doing, where they are, and how they are.
That's a great idea. That's a
Thank
great
you, Dar-
That's a great idea. By the way, it would be a good idea even if we were, meeting face to face. I know in our club we have folks that have disappeared. I think their face is going to be on a milk carton at some point. Have you seen this missing person? So, but Zoom or not Zoom, that's a spectacular idea for retention. That's the membership only starts if we can retain people, right? That's you're always looking for new people, but we should make sure we keep track of who we have in our club and make sure they're engaged. I don't want to steal your show, Larry.
We had three new people come in. I don't know who it is that is just iPhone with the San Francisco, with the Golden Gate Bridge. Can you identify yourself and unmute yourself?
Hi, it's Sam from Coxsackie, Athens.
Okay, hi Sam. You current position in your club? Any membership or president-elect or anything?
The president-elect for this year.
Okay, great. And I see a phone.
Stan Martin from Warwick Valley.
Oh, hi Stan. Okay.
Greetings.
Greeting. Okay, I'm gonna mute you for the time being, and then I think John McLennan. You there, John? No, okay. Okay, so we all touched base. I'm keeping Cindy and Tony unmuted. If you would like to, Carrie, hold on. Carrie, you posted something in chat you want to reiterate? Carrie? Okay. Carrie wrote, when you put your membership chair into the Club Runner executive list, you have to make sure to select the membership option and the title that has to be membership. If not, it won't get sent to RI. Keep in mind also those club executives that are entering that club information. There's a commonly used vice president. RI doesn't recognize the term vice president. So some people call it president-elect vice president if they are in fact president-elect. So that you need to change to president-elect. That's a recognized position when it moves up to RI, when it integrates with RI. Steve, did you unmute yourself, Steve? Steve, did you have anything to add on the RI integration?
Nope, I just wanted to make sure that people understood that their club had to be integrated first before they put their officers in. Otherwise, RI wouldn't get it. That's all I wanted to make sure they know.
And that's in the district club runner, in your club information, that is a checkoff that you can do to integrate up. Okay. I've got a lot of stuff, and I'm going to find what I'm going to share. I just find the screen. Let me mute everybody because I'm getting feedback.
We like to hear you twice, Larry.
Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. Here we go. When membership is strong, clubs are vibrant. When clubs are vibrant, members are engaged. When members are engaged, the community knows Rotary presence, meaningful impact, positive change. 5 things I wish presidents and officers knew and believed about membership. Nothing else matters. Attrition is real. Retention is key to long-term strength. Clubs need annual growth, and it takes intentional strategy, goals, and purposeful action. So last couple of years ago, my club, Suffern Club, we sat down and we did a 5-year plan. We sat down with an outsider in a off-location room on a Saturday for 6 hours, and we decided we needed a mission statement. So we looked online, we found a couple of mission statements. You see the one of Rotary Club of Rochester, Minnesota, which is, you'll see a flyer that I have in the presentation a little bit later, but my club came up with a vision statement and that a mission statement and then a vision statement. And we found out later on we only really need one. So Suffern's was to provide business, professional, and respected community members an opportunity for service to others in order to benefit the local and international communities and to promote high ethical standards, fellowship, and goodwill worldwide. Then, like I said, we came up with a vision statement, and that was Suffern Rotary is composed of people of action who will continue to work in proactive ways to improve lives in our community around the world and are committed to the Rotary motto of service above self. So what's good for the club? Your club experience. Members who have a positive Rotary experience are more likely to stay. In turn, they create a positive Rotary experience for others because their enthusiasm is contagious. If your club's members genuinely enjoy being a part of the club, you're in the right path. Your experience includes not just your club meetings and other activities, but also the connections you made in your Pride in Rotary's work. we have a value proposition. What value does Rotary offer? What makes Rotary unique that isn't found in other organizations or others don't do as well? What is the benefit of being a Rotarian? What is the value proposition of being a member of your club? So I'm gonna pause this and I'm gonna pose that question. Let me unmute. What's the value of being a member? John, you there?
Yeah, yes. Can you hear me now, Larry?
Yes, everybody can hear you.
Okay, because I wasn't on before and I'm not sure why.
Oh, okay, that's all you want. Okay. Go back to that question. What is the value proposition to being a member of your Rotary Club? Anybody want to address that? Okay, nobody's addressing it? I'll go on. Okay, how do clubs deliver on their value proposition? Oh, I'm sorry, I've got to mute everybody. Hang on. Hang on.
Wait. Are you doing that from your end?
I'm muting everybody, yeah. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, how do clubs deliver on this value proposition? Strengthen Rotary's presence and outreach, create options and flexibility, which we'll talk about later, membership types, meeting opportunities, engage all members, and focus on what we do. So here's some statistics. I'm a big statistics guy. 5-year membership trends from July 1st of each of the respective years. So back in 2015, we had 1.204 members. We slowly went down 203, 202. In 2018, 1.195 million and 1.189 million. That's that number. We rounded. We're basically 1.2 million members we've had for the last 5 years, give or take.
Larry, there's been an increase recently. I'm not going to say it's a huge increase, but it's better than a decrease. I want to say it's pushing, like 1.2 million 50 or something like that. So I mean, that's been the latest statistics are in a positive. I mean, the question is with the COVID situation, where are things going? And hopefully at some point when you get through with the slides, we can have that dialogue about, clubs either losing members or if you're gaining members, how you gaining members,
Okay. Thanks, Tony. So give or take 1.2 million, 35,890 clubs, 23% worldwide are women, 5% are under 40, and 46% are 50 to 69. Oh, hold on, admitting Renee. Rotaract, there's 10,000 clubs, 172,000 members. They increased 1,223 clubs from 2018 to 2019, and we're in 179 countries. Okay, you see a big change here. In 2009, 10 years ago, Canada, Caribbean, and the United States attributed to 32% of Rotarians. Now, we're down to 28%, and Asia has increased from 26 to 32%. So we're losing in this part of the world. Here's some statistics for the district. Currently, we have 1,563 members. which is down 41 members from 2017. We have 55 clubs, which is down 4 clubs from 2017. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Worldwide, 77%. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hit my mouse. Worldwide, 77% men, 23% women. We're doing better in the women than the world is. We have terrific new member retention. We're at 94%. Existing member retention, 93%. Now, here's the problem. Members under age 40, 3% versus worldwide of 16%. And members 40 and above, 52% versus 46%. But I don't view those as real numbers because age not reported, 45% of our members have not reported their age. Now, how do we get over that? Well, a lot of people, because of security reasons, have a problem putting their age in, their actual birth year and birth date. So for simplicity, what we want at the district level is if you can go into your, have your members go into their Club Runner profiles, and under birth date, just put June 1st and the year. It doesn't have to be their exact birthday, just put June 1st of that year, and at least statistically we'll have the age.
Hey, Larry, before you get off the
Yes.
decline in the district, and Cindy, I think is there as well, she'll attest. About half that number comes from the E-Club that had a whole bunch of members that were just not really members, even at the E-Club level. So, I mean, maybe some of our other clubs have the same issue, but they had like 20 that were not active and engaged and didn't pay dues. And so it was a real mess. And so we kind of cleaned that up in one fell swoop. And so I would say our real number is about 20 or 21 reduction. Cindy, is that about correct?
Unfortunately, I think it is higher than that for this year.
For the E-Club.
We have, right. Oh, correct. As far as the information about the E-Club, yes, that
Yeah.
is correct. They were over, I think over 20 people. There was a huge drop in
Right.
membership from that one club.
Right.
They did a little bit of cleaning house.
Tony,
Correct.
that 1563 members is through April. So that reflects their house cleaning.
All right, but I'm saying out of the reduction, you know, a big chunk of it comes from one club. I don't care, you know, when we did it. It's just, you know, it's not spread over the 55 clubs is what I'm saying. It's coming from one
Yes.
club.
Okay, got it. So this is what a membership profile looks like, which is district-wide. This report comes from the Rotary District dashboard, and you'll see membership gains and losses down over here. Here's based on year to year. 5 years ago in 2015-16, we lost a net of 18. We lost a net in 2016 of 8. We lost 27, 38. We're in good. We're doing better than previous years as far as July 1st through the current time. Now, this is a big number. Membership termination by years of membership. You see, under 1 year, 1 to 2 years. I have another report I'll show you on that. Terminate 3 to 5 years, 6 to 10, over 10. So this report is available. It's also available for your club. Now, this past year, we gained 158,000 members, and this is through June 30th of 2019. We don't have the year end yet. And we lost 164,000 members. So we're basically staying flush. Why do members leave? Well, 34% say it's cost and or time, 20% club environment, 17% unmet expectations, and 34% would not recommend Rotary. Now, the report was done by Rotary International, but there's no reasoning. They don't give you reasons why they would not recommend. prospective and current members value local community service, and that's important to most of the members in the district. Professional development is another reason. When you say yes to Rotary, I don't think many people understand the scope of what they're saying yes to. The great joy is finding that out. Now, is your club healthy? This is a very important document. This was an attachment. Every president-elect should have that in their packet. If we were doing this in person, I'd take a 5-minute period and I'd let everybody go with this, your club experience, check it off, and then we review it. I really suggest you bring that document, which is in the attachment of the invitation. Bring it back to your club. Take once everything is back to normal, if it ever will be, sit down with your club and do the survey with your club members. In the document, it gives you what the problem areas are, the prescription, and there are links that you can go onto the Rotary Learning Center and Rotary Showcase in various areas that will explain and help you and help your club leadership. The next section in it is service and socials. Same thing, there's a prognosis. Then members, same thing with a prognosis. Image, and same thing with a prognosis. Business and operations. You know, a lot of clubs have been operating the same way they have for 50 years, so there might be a reason to change that. I'm looking at this right now. Our club president attends pets, and club leaders attend the district training assembly. Tony, you want to, how many did we have on the first pets online? 35?
The first pets
Well, we had
online.
286 from the 6
Yeah.
districts. We don't know how many.
We had almost 300 from the multi-district pets. We had a bunch. Yeah, that was pretty good. And Holger was the speaker. I think that was part of the attraction. We'll see what our numbers are like this Wednesday coming.
Yeah.
So.
And again, prognosis. Be a vibrant club. This is a document that's attached and you can get it out of there. This speaks about a Rotary Club of Rochester, Minnesota, and what they did to increase their club experience and their membership. They rewrote their value statement. They introduced creative meeting formats, which we'll talk about. They relaxed attendance guidelines. Decided what you'd like in the club to be like in 5 years. They hold club meetings and keep members engaged. And that document is attached in the invitation. You got to value your members. Your members' time is precious. Treat it that way. That guy in the first row was me about 3 weeks ago. The guy on his back. And I look a little stiff, but what are the top 5 reasons people leave their Rotary Club? Personality conflict, conflict with club leadership, feeling unwanted, neglected, disengaged. That, to me, is a huge reason. Personal vocational priorities, club resist change and innovation. Trying to resist change is like holding your breath. Even if you're successful, it doesn't end well. Good staying sane. So we've changed everything from the very beginning. We still have a classification principle that we all bring something to the table, but the restrictions where you're only limited to a certain number of people in a classification, that no longer exists. The attendance rule, we've dropped the attendance rule. My club, for example, even though there isn't a required attendance, we still would like to have 50%. But I'll be honest with you, I've been a Rotarian since 2002. And to the best of my knowledge, we've never let a member go because of poor attendance. They just, if they just can't make the commitment, they leave on their own. Paul Harris quote, "If Rotary is to realize its proper destiny, it must be evolutionary at all times, revolutionary on occasions." So why do members join Rotary and what do they say? So why did Rotarians initially, they joined to positively impact my community, friendship and fellowship. Those are the 2 highest reasons. Then the remaining personal networking, positive impact globally, potential for personal professional recognition. But here's the key. Why do they stay in Rotary? Those same 2 reasons. Friendship and fellowship moved up to the number 1, but then positively impact my community was number 2. Okay, what's important? The meeting program is number 1. Service programs are number 2. International service is number 3. Social programs, which is spelled incorrectly, social programs is number 4. And food quality is number 5. I've never been to a bad meal at a Rotary meeting. At the club meeting, great fellowship. You have great speakers, great networking, personal development, professional development, giving back, and making a difference. Question: what change would you like to see in your club meetings? Okay, I'm going to hold off on that. I'm going to open it back up. Anybody want to address?
So Larry, can I just, I'm trying to, I think a lot of these slides assume that people are meeting. Oh man, somebody needs to be muted.
Hold on, Tony, I'm going to mute you. Okay, Tony, yes.
Yes, and I think these slides assume that everyone is meeting face to face, and hopefully that's going to happen. Who knows when that's going to happen? But I just would like us to kind of pivot a little bit and just talk about what folks are doing during this crisis. And so I know Darcy said that she's reaching out to her folks, but has anyone inducted a new member through Zoom?
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know of any new members that have been inducted via Zoom. I know that there have been a few clubs that have talked about it that had members that were queued up to be inducted. But I want to just share with everyone something that the Monticello Club is doing. They are having their Zoom meeting at the same time that their normal club meets on Tuesday nights at 6:30. And they had 3 potential new members that were coming on board. They've invited those 3 members to those Zoom meetings. I've seen them, they're on the meetings so that they at least have an idea of what's happening in their club. Projects, even if the projects are being canceled, they can at least understand the type of service that's happening. The second thing that's really great as well is they are staying active through food delivery, through volunteering, through food banks, and some of those potential members are now getting involved in that way. So even as they're on that road to membership with that club, they are already engaged and active, which I think is key. So I just wanted to share that model is working for that club, and it looks like all 3 of those members, they're either going to do a Zoom induction, or they'll wait until everything is back to normal and they can have a gathering and meet. But they took 3 potential members, 3 potential people, and are turning them into members during this particular time. There are ways to serve out there, and there are ways to keep your members engaged. And it's our job as leaders in the clubs to provide that avenue for our members.
That's great. Are there any examples out there? And Larry, can you unmute people? Hopefully people won't have, their dog and their cat howling and barking. And
I am currently onboarding a new member who has, she came to our meeting last week. I will be inducting her within the next couple of weeks using Zoom. So we're in the process of doing that.
How did you find her, Sal?
She was brought in by another member. She's being sponsored by another member who knew her and asked her if she was interested. She was. She came to 3 live meetings, and then we went to Zoom. And she attended a meeting. Her meeting, she was approved by the board. She attended a meeting last week on Zoom, and I'm currently onboarding her, and we will be doing her classification and her induction on Zoom.
Nice. Anybody else? Anybody else have an example?
I've got one. Well, I have a thought. Maybe it's a better way to say it. My thought is, we as leaders are trying to take this challenge and convert it to an opportunity. And not only are we doing the meetings week time, which is helpful because people are used to the same routine as far as the timing of when we have our meeting. But what I'm thinking here going forward, and maybe I'll use the survey to figure this out, because again, we don't know how long this is going to take for us to have normal meetings again, but to ask members if they can consider the challenge that we have in having Zoom meetings as an opportunity. And why is that? Well, we typically start our meetings in the flesh at noon and end at 1:30. And as I saw in the statistics, Larry, time is certainly one of the reasons people, or lack of time, why they leave. So if we're shortening the length of our meetings and making it a lot more convenient to attend by sitting in your bedroom on your computer and saving 45 minutes because our meetings are shorter, that might actually attract new members. Of course, once we get back to where we'd rather be in the flesh, there is an in-house list of people that already enjoy the shorter, more convenient meetings that could be part of our e-meeting.
Right.
I represent Rotary in Warwick, and we've got 2 other Rotarians on the phone, one of whom has been charged to help us figure out this e-meeting thing. Travis, you have anything to add? I know he's on.
Yeah.
Travis?
Yeah. I think
I can't hear you, Travis.
Can you hear me?
Unmuted.
That's
Can you
better.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's funny. We had actually talked about this prior to this whole pandemic happening, as what we could do to try to engage, because it is a challenge for working professionals. Now we meet Wednesdays at noon, so a lot of people are working. They work, in New Jersey, or they work in the city, and the convenience of getting to the meeting sometimes is a challenge. So we were actually already discussing ways that we could do to try to get people to be more engaged. Maybe we do makeup meetings or after hours type meetings as a way to impact. So this idea of technology was something we were already discussing. And I think it's good in a way. It's almost forcing people to get out of their comfort zone and try different ways to communicate and try different ways to interact. And if we can get people comfortable in this medium now, in the future, I think it becomes a tool now it's a challenge, but it becomes a tool for, maybe there's a pop-up meeting because something happens we need to discuss. There's a national emergency. There's a death of a Rotarian that you want to get together and kind of coordinate planning or different things like that. This can be something where it's a quick email and everybody can get on quickly and have a discussion as to, as to plan how you're moving forward. So I think what's going on, it stinks. I think we can all, easily say that, but I also think this is going to be a good learning for a lot of people as a way to reach out, actively and see people's faces and talk about, the things that are pressing at the time. So, there's good and bad and everything. So I think, but I do think in the end, there'll be some good that comes out of this.
Thanks, Travis. And my last thought is this might accelerate instead of decelerate the opportunities for recruiting. For all the reasons I said, it may be more convenient for people who were cooped up in their homes and not distracted by doctor's appointments and whatnot when they're retired, or obviously working and whatnot with their family commitments with their kids on the ball field. This might be a real opportunity right now, as difficult as it is, to recruit more members.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
think
point.
you're right. Go ahead, Ed. Go ahead.
Nope, that's all I had.
Let me talk about my own club. Suffern's a 40-member club, and we've been meeting every Thursday at 12:30. Our regular meeting was 12:15. We had a lunch meeting. So in the 3 weeks that we've had our meetings, we had a low of 11 people to a high of 16 out of 40 people. And as much as we try, we just can't get members. And I know the bulk of those members are home. It's just a lot of them are working out of their houses. So depending on when they're on group calls with their employer or employees, it's still not convenient for everybody. So we're trying, but we're not having great success in our case.
Ed has his hand up. Larry, can you unmute him?
Yes, I just had something to add, Larry, that you made me think of. And another participant in this meeting mentioned call-outs. The last 2 Sundays, our president, Tina Buck, and myself, as the president-elect, have been reaching out to members, primarily the older ones, I'll call it, to the extent that we wanted to make sure they were okay, number one, and number two, that they were aware of these Zoom meetings that we're having. Not to suggest that we older folk have more challenges with a computer. I just felt, and so did Tina, that it would be a good idea to kind of remind people that we are having meetings. Maybe they're not looking at their emails that we send out through Club Runner and provide the Zoom information, and encourage them to attend. We didn't have great attendance the first time we did it. I think we've had two club meetings now. We'll see what the third one looks like. But I think there's no replacement for the phone. If that can help any, that's my suggestion.
Sounds good, Ed. Thank you for your feedback. Ed has his hand up.
One of the things that we're doing at Rotary of Southeast is probably trying to think a little bit outside the box. As you said, one of the things that people find difficult to coming to meetings is getting there at a particular time. What we've instituted at Rotary of Southeast is a flexible schedule. We do a lunch meeting, then a dinner meeting, then a lunch meeting, and then a dinner meeting. And we find that different people come to lunches and different people come to dinners, but it's a way to keep your members engaged because some of them can't make lunches or some of them can't make dinners. So you make your meetings flexible so your members can attend at least every other meeting and get the information needed and stay active and participating. So I think other clubs should consider alternating their meetings. Even if they do one meeting a month differently, we do alternating. But if you just did, if you're doing lunch meetings, do a dinner meeting once a month. Change it up a little, maybe you'll get different members showing up.
Okay,
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know if anyone is on from Southern Ulster. I don't remember seeing anyone. Is anyone on from Southern Ulster as I'm scrolling through? Southern Ulster, whenever we have membership, I think that they are a classic example. The Southern Ulster Club was dying, literally dying on the vine. And they decided to switch it up. And they have tripled their membership. And what they've done is they have a cocktail hour. So they literally meet at like 6 o'clock. They have a quick 45-minute meeting where they talk about everything that all their business is taken care of. And then if anyone wants to stay, they can then stay and have dinner. But if you need to leave because you have to get home for your kids, you have other work that you have to go and do, shortening that meeting to 45 minutes made a tremendous difference. So out of 4 weeks, they have 3 that are this shortened version where you have the option to stay after and have dinner. And then the 4th week is a longer meeting where they want everyone to stay and enjoy a meal together. It has been extremely successful for them to have that model, the cocktail hour model. So I would just, again, it's about looking at your membership, seeing what you can do, and keeping everyone engaged and active in that club.
And Cindy, I would say they also do a lot of service projects as well as a result of that. I know we talk about meetings and, as far as I'm concerned, Rotary is not in the diner or the restaurant or the wherever you meet. That's not where Rotary is. Rotary is out in the community and helping each other. And I'm curious, Larry, if we could just take one more minute with this, or a couple of minutes, if there's clubs right now that are doing service projects, because service projects are a way to find new members. If people see us publicly out there, whatever we're doing, whether it's a food project now or, you name it during the crisis, they might say, hey, that's a really cool organization. They're helping and I want to be part of that. So I'm a big fan of that, of doing rather than talking.
Okay,
Renee?
Before we get to that, I want to go to Renee, because when I do these seminars in person, I always reference one club that wrote the book on on flexibility. And I want to say that's NIAC. And Renee, you want to talk about how your club operates?
Yes, certainly. And Jeff Lambert is here from NIAC too. So good to see you, Jeff. Yeah, we have a cocktail. The third Thursday of every month is Cocktails for Charity. So the money is devoted to a particular organization, and we do have a short meeting. So that works for us. And then we have lunch meetings on the other days. So it evolves to where we we have 2 evening meetings, one which is a happy hour, Cocktails for Charity, and then 2 lunch meetings, and it works. And then what we did with the evening meetings, one of my goals was to get our young people more involved. So with our Interact group that we have at the high school, the evening meetings allowed us for that Interact club of about 19 girls and 2 boys. They were able to come and join us, and we did a Socks for Homeless activity at the YMCA. So we had about a dozen to 15 Rotarians. We had a dozen Interact kids. Everybody brought socks. We kind of advertised in the community, and we had a community member come just show up with 300 pairs of socks. So we did pizza, and so it was visible, and again, it got us together with the Interact kids. So we were going to plan on doing that 3 times this year. So we were getting ready for our second one, and then things hit us. So we'll have to do things differently now, of course.
Renee, talk about your townwide project on literacy, just so people understand how involved your club is.
Well, we get a district grant each year, and education is the focus. So we do a literacy program. Starting, we buy books, and starting with kids at the Head Start, and then all the first graders, all the elementary kids, we volunteer and we go and we read to the kids and we give them books. And then in the 7th grade, we do a junior achievement, which is a financial literacy class that is so powerful. And we have, there's about 12 to 15 Rotarians that cycle through and teach a class. So we know every student who's in 7th grade that goes to Nyack Middle School is getting this particular 6-week course. It's pretty dynamic. Then we also, with that grant, provide, scholarships. The big education is the focus, but then we also have money dedicated to that grant to go to some hunger programs.
Renee, how many junior achievement classes are you doing, roughly?
I think we do 3 a quarter, 3 or 4 a quarter. So, yes.
3 or
So
4
we did, I
each.
think, 9 out of 12 that we had planned on doing. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, I just want to put everything into perspective with what's going on with COVID-19. Just, I'm a statistic.
Barry,
Yes.
Can you hear me? I'm
Yes.
sorry. I have a hand up, but I don't know if you
Oh, I
guys
didn't
can
see
see
it.
me visually. I just wanted to comment because last year when I was at this event, Cynthia brought up that Southern Ulster Club. So I went back to Rhinebeck because we really, I wanted some more people in the club, and a lot of people told me they wanted to join. They couldn't do lunch meetings. So we instituted a membership drive event prior to all of this happening. It was late February, had about 35 people show up that were interested in joining Rotary. And we inducted a couple new members that night. And then since that membership drive, my first service after hours, that's what we called it. We were going to do 3rd Thursday evening monthly meeting. And we called it Service After Hours, Rotary of Rhinebeck. So we have 5 members right now in queue, new members coming in from, that event. The challenge that right now, of course, is, the Zoom and the lack of connection. But something that we've been doing, we have been meeting Mondays on Zoom. Bill Schaefer, our president, has been keeping the time at 12:30. They've been going for about an hour. We don't have the full membership online, but I'm thinking we need to reach out and call some people because they may not know how to use the Zoom platform. Number 1. But number 2, one way that we find, and I even sent out an email to all the prospective members who had come to my membership drive event saying now's the perfect time to become a Rotarian because of the global ask that you just put out for Rotary International. But my question is, and this has come up in some of our meetings, how does that funnel down for people who become healthcare service workers and telehealth personnel? Do they have a connection already within our local communities so that it is connected locally? That was something that did come up, and I just thought that was something we were promoting to, say, get involved, and you can get involved now with this situation we're in.
That's the surge, Cindy.
Correct, you're right. So what she's referring to is something called Volunteer Surge, which is a new, 3 weeks ago it started basically, from a gentleman in California that saw the need and wanted to do something impactful. And so it has very quickly come on board. We're partnering with the American Red Cross and several other people. And the short answer is yes, you can serve and volunteer locally through that. And that's, that's what they want you to be able to do is either stay at home or go somewhere within your local community or within your district to be able to reach out and help. And the other thing
great,
too,
because they were asking, is the connection made?
The connection is made through American Red Cross and other organizations that have boots on the ground. It's also made through, it's escaping me, I'm sorry. I'll try and pull it up so that I have the exact answer for you. Let me pull it up. We can chat amongst ourselves.
So they would know, in other words, right. So those organizations, in other words, would know that you were trained, so you key in with that local person from that organization in our
correct.
local communities.
What happens is once you go through the training, you're then like put in the queue, and then you're paired with people or organizations locally that need your help and support. And they know, and because it's training that has been certified and approved by places like the American Red Cross and other organizations, they know that you have the knowledge to move forward in whatever avenue of service they have you paired in. So there are two options.
Yeah, we also
10-hour.
Yeah, we also put it out to our interactors who are 18 and above, because I know it's 18 is the age restriction.
Correct.
They must be 18
Correct.
or older. And any
Right.
of those interactors who are seniors that are really struggling right now and not knowing about college and everything else, my daughter being one of them, when everything is going to start. So if they're interested in healthcare, what a great opportunity for them as well. So
correct.
Yeah, my understanding, Michelle, and Cindy, correct me if I'm wrong. The purpose of the volunteer surge is to free up first line medical, hospital, and psychological people, people that would be stressed from the volume of people that they have to serve. So the two courses, the 10 is strictly for a phone type service, and the 35-hour course is somebody actually help in medical facilities. I'm housebound, so I started the 10-hour course. But I just want to put something into perspective for a second. Like I started to say, I'm a statistics guy, and I just want you all to know where we stand in our 8 counties with the number of cases. The low is Greene County. Greene County has 90 cases, COVID. Columbia is next with 108. Then Sullivan is 505. Putnam, 732. Ulster, 880. And then everything starts blowing up. Dutchess County, 2,142 cases. Orange County, 6,514 cases. And my home county, Rockland, 8,987 cases. That, to put it into perspective, based on population, that's 27.6 cases per 1,000 population. That's double what New York City is. And Orange County is not far behind. They're 17.1. So I can't stress, you just, follow the CDC guidelines, just stay away from everybody if you can. Just do that for your, Andrew, want to know the fatalities. I didn't have that on this list, Andrew, I'm sorry. Yeah, Andrew, I'm sorry, I didn't have that on the list. Okay, Sue, I want to unmute Sue because Sue just, she chatted something to us and I want her to share her feelings with the rest of us. And by the way, Sue, Zoom is a free app for a 40-minute limit.
That's correct.
And as long as you use a password, you don't get Zoom bombed. But if your 40 minutes runs up, you can just sign back on and start it over again. So
Okay.
share what you chatted.
Well, I was listening to everybody and the check-ins that everybody's doing, and I've been trying to do it via email, but I decided that I'm going to try it. And while we were all talking and you were talking, I have a Zoom account, so I created a meeting for Thursday, which is our normal meeting time at 12:15, and just invited everybody in my club to a Zoom meeting. So I'm hopeful that people will sign in, at least a couple out of the 32 members. And I
Good for you, Sue.
also invited the 2 new prospective members that we're in the process of installing. So I also invited them to join us also.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thanks, we'll see.
Tony, you had a question for everyone?
Well, I'm curious if, what clubs out there are actually doing something that's COVID related as a service project. I know there's, the Monticello, I'm sorry, Monticello and Liberty clubs. Sorry about the feedback. Plus, that doesn't sound like my voice. For God's sake. Sounds like a very deep voice. So is anybody doing any service-related projects?
Let me Ed, go. I'm trying to unmute. Unmute yourself, Ed. Okay, you raise your hand?
I did. We had really 2 things going on in Warwick as it relates to COVID. We have a hospital in our community, so clearly we're close to it. We have a few members that have spouses that are nurses, and ultimately we were trying to figure out how we could help. We have monies that we can't provide to our wonderful Interact and other youth to go to RILA this year. So there we had all these dollars, $2,500 for the 5 students that we're not going to be able to send to RILA. And we just voted to utilize that money for repurposing it for the COVID crisis. And 2 specific things we're doing in Warwick is there's a Facebook thing going around where the local hospital is being supported by many in the community, organizations and individuals and families who are donating to providing meals on each shift at the hospital, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. There's 25 meals. There's a cost to those specific meals, and through some kind of app, folks are signing up. We're doing some investigating into that to see if we could just simply donate as an organization, and that's our first thing. The other is we've got a few folks that are connected to the restaurant community. 3 of our members are researching those restaurants to see if we can make a separate donation in that fashion.
That's great. I think Cecile, you had your hand up as well.
Yes.
Great job, Ed.
In Greenville, we have been donating food, and we donated money and gift cards to 3 different groups that are distributing food. One is the school district, which is sending out buses. They have about 90 families who are, in addition to the school breakfast and lunch meals, are receiving bags, weekly bags of food. So we've been donating to that. And 2 other grassroots people that have been providing food for the community we donated to. As well, one thing we did is we voted to tip the servers at our regular restaurant what we estimate they would have earned in the estimated
great.
10 weeks that we're not meeting. So we mailed out checks to the 3 individuals at the restaurant
No, that's very
who are
generous.
not working. And one of our potential members has been making masks and donating them to like Meals on Wheels drivers and the school district and people like that.
No, that's great. Steve Lawbeck, I know you have a project too, right?
Yeah, well, we're doing a couple things. We donated food, or money and food to the food bank in our area, for one. Secondly, our club, in support of the local restaurants, is every week we do have our Zoom meetings every Wednesday, and we choose another local restaurant where any of the members who can order food on Friday night for dinner from that restaurant to help support those guys. And then we're working on a project. I got some information from another friend of mine in another area where the nurses and doctors have been having difficulty, some of them even going home, because after their long shifts, they want to be able to shower and change clothes and leave their contaminated clothes at the hospital and be able to go home. But they either don't have enough shampoo, soaps, et cetera, or they're in larger containers that they really don't want to use after doing a long shift in contaminated areas. So we're looking to gather a bunch of those hotel size soaps and shampoos and so forth and get them to the hospitals so that those people can use that stuff, once and done. Use it, take their shower, be able to change to uncontaminated clothes, and then go home with their family. So that's still in development. We're still making sure that hospitals are willing to accept this stuff and in what form they want to accept it. But we did get some information from some of the people in those hospitals that that's an issue right now. And nobody seems to be addressing the needs of those workers after the fact, after they're done working and want to go back home again. Some of them are literally sleeping in their cars because they're afraid to go into their homes and potentially contaminate their family.
Let me share with you what the 11 Rockland Rotary clubs are doing. We started a GoFundMe page, and we started a fund. It's called the Rockland Rotary Volunteer Firefighters Fund, and we're supplementing the income or the loss of income for the 26 different volunteer fire departments in Rockland. In Rockland County, approximately 90% of the volunteer firefighters are out of work. They do not have work from home type jobs, and they have no source of income. So we started this fund. It just started last week. The clubs are in the process of, at their online board meetings, approving the amounts. And we posted it in conjunction with the Rockland County Volunteer Firefighters Association, where we're Facebooking it all over the place. We're trying to get some coverage from the local news outlets. And hopefully, once this thing goes viral, it'll explode. The two assistant governors and myself are administering the fund, and it's through the Suffering Rotary Community Fund, because it has to be on GoFundMe. If you have a 501c3, they only charge you 1.9% versus 17% for a standard GoFundMe. So we did that, and the presidents of each of the 26 companies are going to reach out to us with requests for their members. Checks will be sent directly to the members. So in like 2 days, we've raised almost $2,000 without any real publicity. So as soon as we get the thing going widespread, it should take off. Okay, who wanted, somebody else needed to talk, right?
I think there's a couple of people. I know Andrew Saccone had
Andrew,
put something in.
yeah.
And Carrie Hernandez had actually raised her hand.
Andrew?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we've been trying to meet, and we're giving monies, and we have a 1.0, a 2.0. We're gonna just keep every week we assess what's going on, and we're giving monies where we can, and we know that this is going to be a need, and we're trying to put our resources carefully as we have it. And of course, we're trying to get creative with our Happy Dollars, and maybe replenishing the Happy Dollar funds in the future, but to put those monies towards, efforts now, as we're all trying to do what we can. So we're going to be creative with, how we can help, and we'll probably give more money out this coming week. Our group is getting more and more people involved in our club, because we're meeting regular now over videos. So, we'll just keep hammering it away. And I listed on the chat some of the things we've done currently in terms of the monies, but we're trying to sponsor some families through independent living, and we'll probably continue to do that, like the firemen, et cetera.
Ed, you're up next, and
Carrie Hernandez too.
I'm sorry?
Carrie Hernandez that raised her hand.
I had Ed Q. Carrie, you're after Ed, okay? Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Larry. One thing I've forgotten to mention that Warwick Valley Rotary is doing is we repurposed some of the funds from that, from Interact as well, from RILA as well, towards the two local food pantries, one in Florida and one in Warwick. Florida's is actually considered part of Warwick, the Warwick community. So both of those food pantries agreed that they had much greater needs nationally now with job layoffs and whatnot. So we're providing them additional funds for that. And what was the other thing I was going to mention? Jeepers, in my head. We also put on our website a separate button for COVID relief, and are encouraging through Facebook folks that we know, our contacts through social media, to donate to that button and utilize those funds for the same purpose I just mentioned.
Harry?
So I heard Steve talked about in another meeting that we were in last week about this project that they're doing for the first responders with the toiletries. And we took that back to our county here in Putnam. And we just kind of put the word out there just to see if there would be any interest. And we had a ton of people that were interested in helping. So we're getting the community to help with this. But we also paired up with our local chamber, who went out to their hotels. I have had 3 hotels bring me cases of toiletries that they're not using. I actually have, and everyone, and like Steve and I had talked, and Steve was like, well, we didn't even, we thought they were, because it's not, it doesn't expire, that they'd want to hold on to it. And the hotels were like, no, please, like if you can use them, please take. I just had another delivery yesterday from a local hotel. I actually have the first 200 kits being packed as we speak. We have yet to go into our we've been trying to get a connection actually as a nurse in the hospital or at different places, because we don't just want to show up at the hospital and be like, here's some free stuff, please use it. We actually connected with 2 of our local EMS departments that are going to be using it for those first responders before it even gets to the hospital. So they'll be able to take a shower at the fire department before they come home, and our local nursing homes.
It's a great idea.
Were so excited that we even put it out there to offer it to them, because again, we felt like the EMS and the nursing homes, they were kind of like the forgotten first responders kind of, so they were really excited about that. And we actually have a couple of our members who are own restaurants, who've been trying to feed people and stuff like that. One of our members actually is doing an IOU program. So if you have no food and you need food for your kids, you can just walk in there and slip them a piece of paper that says IOU, and they will feed your family that night. I have another one who's teamed up with a bunch of our local Rotarians to do deliveries for him to the local EMS and the hospitals here, to bring them a nice home cooked meal for the night.
Carrie, is it Putnam Hospital where that's the connection you're trying to get into?
Putnam
Hospital, that's a connection you're trying to get into.
Putnam Hospital is our local hospital. I currently have people contacting Putnam as well as Danbury because a lot of our stuff, Putnam's kind of, it's a local community hospital. We don't have a ton of stuff there. So a lot of our COVID cases are actually going down to over to Danbury and down to Westchester. That's part of the, like when Larry went through the list of the numbers, our little county seems like we're doing okay, but us Putnam people know it's kind of skewed because we know a lot of people are going to Connecticut and going down to Westchester.
Right.
Lillian, hang on, Lillian Jones, let me find Lillian on there.
Hang on, Lillian Jones.
Lillian, sorry.
Okay, I'm on.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I would love to say something. Living in Putnam. Is somebody else talking also?
No, we got it.
It's okay. We just started having our Zoom meetings last Wednesday, and we brought in our people. We have quite a few members that work at the local at the county level, and the sheriff spoke, and the superintendent of schools, and our deputy commissioner of social service also. And it was quite informative, and what we've been doing is opening up all sorts of volunteer experiences for all of our members if they'd like to join any of the efforts that are going on. And this week, Carrie, if you'd like to join us, we do have one of the heads at Putnam Hospital speaking, the lady who's in charge. She's a vice president of social service maybe, and community patient service, excuse me, and vice president of nursing. And we have quite a few members in those things. So what we kind of decided to do is to let all of our members do the different kinds of volunteer activities, because the hospital right now, from what we understood from the nurses and from their leadership there, is they're getting 3 meals a day delivered from all sorts of different community groups. There's been just a massive outpouring of energy, and they've had some community food giveaways that we've asked people to sign up for. But what we also thought we would do is come the fall, when we hope this will all be over by then, we'd like to do a community thank you for all the EMS and the hospital workers and just everybody who's been working so hard in this. We have reached out to a few other Rotaries to see if they might like to join us here, because really we all share Putnam Hospital, and we'll see what we can do with that at that time.
Somebody in Rockland County had made a suggestion to me, and I thought it wasn't a bad idea. If you've got restaurants in your area that are surviving but aren't serving in the restaurants, go out and buy gift cards from the restaurant or gift certificates. That'll be an influx of cash to them, and then slowly use them as you buy takeout and everything. But it'll be an influx of quite a bit if you get your members to go out, your regular restaurant that you might meet at. They're obviously getting very little, so possibly consider getting gift cards or gift certificates in their name.
Larry, over in my club in Walden, we've always been very close to the Montgomery Food Pantry. And so during this time, we've tried to be of additional help to them. They're stepping up their food purchasing because they have 25% more people they're serving. And so we're going more often now to Cornwall to pick up food for them. And we're also giving them money, and it's spread over to our members have been giving large donations to the food pantry. So that's been good. Our town supervisor is a member of the club, and he's got a lot of programs going, including one that involves linking up restaurants that can provide meals to those at home that can't get out to get food for themselves. And so it's a call-in program where for $30, a restaurant provides a meal to someone and delivers it to them. And we kicked in money to the fund that supports that. And the last thing we're about to do is help the local Salvation Army, because they've reached out to us to say, hey, we're doing a lot more.
Peter,
we're cooking a lot more food, providing a lot more food, and thank you for the money at Christmas that you raised for us, but can you do something for us now? So we're likely to respond there.
Thanks, Peter. Tony's about to leave us, so I want to give Tony the floor for his closing statement.
I have no closing statement. I just put a little chat out. Thank you for all for being on today. I think it's important that we gather in whatever way we can. And you know, I know this is about membership, but think about how service projects draw members. And Rotary is such a caring organization, and you'll find other people that have caring spirits that want to just jump in to help other people. And those are members, those are potential members. And it's certainly easy now to get a new member on a Zoom meeting and sign them up. So thank you, Larry. Thank you for putting this on. District Governor Cindy, thank you for the great job you do every day, day in, day out, and have done so. And I am going to try to slow the clock down a little bit if I can. I know you want to speed it up. But thank you all. Be safe and be healthy.
Thanks, Tony. I just want to add one thing to what Tony said. When you, I mean, this is not the end, but if you're going out and you're helping and you're doing service projects, wear something emblazoned with a Rotary logo so they know who you are. Okay. I'm unmuting you, Cindy. Okay, Cindy, so now you're
I was
you're the voice of
emphasizing
the
to wear a
district.
pin.
So is any, so let me share something with you that my wife has done recently. She is the co-president of our synagogue sisterhood, and they're having their meetings. They started doing watch meetings. If you have Netflix and you have Zoom, you can screen a documentary or a video or anything on Zoom, and their members sign in. They did one particular docuseries 2 consecutive weekends, a Sunday and a Monday night at 7:30, and they watched an hour documentary, and then they met the following Thursday and they had open discussion on it. It's a great way to maybe have cocktails and watch a video, some type of Netflix series or any of the Hulu or Jeff, you shaking your head yes, Jeff? So,
I'm sorry. Yes, no, that is really good. They also do that on Facebook. They'll have like watch parties and stuff like that. It is a nice way to connect with people on stuff like that. You know, watching I like scary movies, so I'll watch scary movies on Facebook with my friends as an example. Things like that. You could do the chat, very similar to Zoom. So we're all like, oh my God, did you see that? Or stuff like that. Or, oh no, look, here he comes, you know, stuff like that.
It's
So
another opportunity for people to connect with each other.
Definitely,
in a
definitely.
stressless.
And that fellowship thing you're going back to, especially now while we're all kind of feeling weird and icky and nervous, and you know, it's nice to try and get those little slivers of normalcy in when we can. So you know, very, very important. That's a great suggestion you have there. Definitely second that.
Okay, I had one thing, a screen I want to share. Just give me a second.
Hey, Larry, while you're pulling that up, could I ask a question?
Sure.
Which relates to what was just said by the younger folk in the group here. The thought I had was, you know, we sometimes struggle for a good guest speaker, and now that we're stuck with this Zoom environment, maybe there's some good stuff on My Rotary that others that are more knowledgeable of it than I could suggest that we show to our members as a Zoom meeting as our guest speaker, given the environment that we're in. Just a thought and a question for those who are more familiar with what resources are available.
Okay, thanks, Ed. The screen I just pulled up is from My Rotary. And it's the visual of the Learning Center for Virtual Meetings and Resources. And there is a link, and everybody can access this. It sends you into the Learning Center, and there are a whole bunch of videos about virtual meetings and sharing. Just give me a second to pull up. So some of these are PowerPoints, some of these are out. These are all links. 12 tips for making your virtual meetings, 3 tips to avoid burnout, be media savvy. These are all on the Rotary International My Rotary Learning Center. You heard of Zoom bombing. These are all from outsiders. Alternate video conferencing. This is suggestions. This is from Rotary. This is others besides Zoom. Alternates. One of the things they state in here is that there's 500,000 Zoom accounts up for grabs. That's because people are not using passwords. You have to use passwords. Video conferencing solutions, you've got Zoom, you have Skype Meet for business. There's a comparison. It's initially free. Okay, so here's Skype for Business is free, $12.50 per month per user. It's similar to Zoom, but it's, you know, here's the difference of the basic features. So that's one. Microsoft Teams is another. Google Hangouts, I do that with my children. We do that every Saturday night. We do an online game with them called Psych. It's like a trivia game, and we do it through Google Hangouts. You've got GoToMeeting, other video conferencing, tips before you buy. This is all on security, all on advisory. So that's in the Learning Center. So I suggest you take advantage of that if your club does not. If your club does want to buy a Zoom or one of the others, I know Zoom has a Rotary discount. It's if you go into Rotary Global Rewards, you can get the discount. And Cindy, it's Zoom Rotary is the code. So if you're buying a Zoom for your club and the annual membership with the Rotary discount is just it's like $119.50, and it may be well worth it. That's on the annual membership, but it's something to consider. And then there are the other free ones. Anybody have anything else to add? I'm unmuting everybody.
I wanted to take a quick second to kind of let everybody know about some really, really special stuff that is happening here in Nyack. We were visited by a guy, Bill Batson, in our club recently. He's developed this organization called Nyack Mask Makers. So he's got a huge organization of people donating and sewing masks, and he's distributing thousands of masks to Montefiore Hospital, Rockland Hospice, and many other places here in Rockland County. So I just, I don't know if anybody else is seeing anything like that. I would encourage everyone on this call to just look up Nyack Mask Makers and check out the legendary work that Bill Batson is doing here.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, I had this big slide presentation, but I guess I'm going to skip that. I had 137 slides, so Tony's correct. But I'm going to go around the room. I'm going to unmute everybody one at a time for any final things you might want to say or share. So I'm going with the way my screen is listed. I'm going to. Ann, you have any?
Yeah, I just wanted to add what West Point Highland Falls has been doing because the numbers are up. At our food pantry, we've been delivering food from the county, bringing it into Highland Falls. We're also working with one of the local centers, handing out wellness packets. We're taking old copies, gently used copies of the Rotary, including that with reading material and handing it, just leaving it on the doorsteps for those who are, staying in safe, just to communicate with them that way, handing out flyers about what else is going on in town. Our local restaurants have been exceptional in terms of you buy a gift certificate and they will donate to a family that you designate. So we've been helping out that way.
Okay, thank you. Who's next? Let's see. Let me mute you. Sue, any closing from you?
I just want to say thank you. I thought this was great, even though we didn't get into everything about membership. I think the connection was awesome and the ideas that I got. We're continuing to work with Meals on Wheels every week and with one of our local food pantries, and looking forward to seeing everybody in person again at some point.
I just want to touch on that. You know, Tony called me early this morning and said, "What did you have planned?" And I said, "Well, I've got a big PowerPoint presentation." And he said, "Maybe it's not the right time." You know, our intentions were good. And when we first scheduled the seminar, situation was different. So we will, once everything normalizes, we'll go back to that. But
absolutely,
I do want to stress one thing. We're still trying to go forward with the Passport Club. And in the documentation that was in the invitation, there is a document all about the Passport Club. If you know of young Rotarian or young millennials that want to be involved with Rotary, but just don't feel the need to put the ability to put the commitment in on a weekly or bi-monthly meeting, however they want to do, we still have the option of starting up the Passport Club. We kind of put it on hold because of what was going on now. But if you know of someone, email me, again, membership7210@gmail. I will send them information. And we need initially 20 members. We're about 8 members away from starting the club. So anybody, past Rotarians, maybe retirees that moved out of the area that you still may be in touch with, they can become members of the Passport Club. Okay. John McClellan, any final for you?
Yes, I was unable to wave my hand during the past, so I bet for most of them. I'm glad that Ann, Karen, by the way.
John,
hello.
I'm sorry, your audio is terrible, John. Sorry. I'm gonna have to, John, you're totally breaking up.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little better.
I'm glad Anna, also at West Point Highland Falls Rotary, of which I'm a member chair, just spoke a couple people ago about events that have taken place recently in Highland Falls. Can you hear me now?
Not really. You want to type it in the chat and I'll read it, everyone? Thanks. Okay, Renee, you're up. Any last thoughts?
Well, I find that some of my challenge is it's hard to do any hands-on service, obviously, in situations like this. Myself included, with some other members, have had to restrict ourselves from delivering Meals on Wheels. And I think one of the challenges is we're going to have to figure out what can we do besides just reach into our pocketbooks again and again and try and decide where that money's going to go. And I think for some members, and I'm included in that as a retiree on a fixed income, it's going to be hard to continue to do that. And I want to keep members engaged. So I'm just thinking about how can I get every member engaged so we retain our membership, much less how do we grow our membership. So this has been helpful, but I think there's a lot for our membership committee to talk about, as we go forward.
It's engage somehow through Zoom and offline if you can.
Right.
Okay. Thanks, Renee. Cecile, you're up. Unmute yourself, Cecile.
I don't have anything to add right now. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Steve. Steve stepped away. Oh, there he is. You there, Steve?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm actually trying to copy and paste something in the chat for people to link onto, but I'm having a little trouble with that because everything's running so slow with Zoom going. But I just saw something come up from Sprout Creek Farms, and they were funded by Marist College, and they have a whole bunch of animals, you know, cows and chickens and goats and all that kind of stuff. And Marist has decided to no longer fund them. So Sprout Creek Farms is looking for people who own farms that can take some of these animals, because they're going to get euthanized probably next week. And well, I've heard Monday. So
Okay. I lost Steve. Where did Steve go? Hold on a second.
I don't know if anybody has farm contacts that have livestock who go onto the Sprout Creek Farms website.
Cecile, you heard differently?
The article was in the Poughkeepsie Journal last week.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that it was not true, that it's been on the internet for a while. I don't know why Marist would be contracting with a farm. They have no ag programs whatsoever. My daughter is a graduate.
Well, I don't know. If it's fake news, it was in even the local papers, but I'm being told that it's true. Yeah, my wife just came in the room. She says, "Oh, it's not fake news. It's for real."
Oh, okay.
But if anybody has contacts in farms, they can contact Sprout Creek. You probably save a lot of animals. That's the way it sounds.
What if I'm still unmuted?
Yes, you are.
I'd like to point out we have a new, it's the first time that Leslie has joined anything at the district level, my new membership chair. So I just wanted to give her a shout out for stepping up today.
Okay, moving around. Thank you, Seal. Ed Kalicki, you're up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. It was great meeting with all the fellow Rotarians. I think this was a good exchange. We got some great ideas from each other. I only wish we would have spent just a little more time on membership, even in a brief way.
Oh, I can if everybody wants. Let me go around. Peter?
Yeah. I just wanted to say that I'm looking forward to our Monday meeting at 12:15 because it will be our first virtual meeting. So it'll be good to see everybody again, the ones that come. And we've been doing for this week the buddy kind of calls to people. So we're thinking we're finally getting reconnected. So it's a good feeling. So that's all I got.
Okay, thanks, Ed. Andrew?
Well, Dory's our membership chair, so we're gonna probably, I'm sure Dory has some thoughts, but we're going to, we're gonna look to our members and other clubs for ideas, and we hope to drive membership up significantly in the new year, Dory and I. So,
Thanks. Dory, up to you.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm all right. I think you can hear me, but I just really wanted to thank everyone for so many great ideas. I'm a fairly new member, and I found the slide information that Larry, you had sent very helpful to me, not knowing all the rules and ideas and regulations. So I just want to thank everyone for joining in and sharing all this information. It was so helpful, very, very helpful.
Well, thanks, Dory. What I'll do, after I go through everybody, I'll stay on and continue through the slides. Those of you that want to continue with them, feel free to stay on. Okay, Jeff, any last thoughts?
No, this is just, a positive thing here. I think, being able to connect on Zoom with, potential people. I know I've brought a couple of younger folks to my NIAC clubs meetings. So just trying to work on getting them, engaged as we go forward on Zoom, things like that would be nice.
Those of you that aren't familiar with NIAC, those of you that are from upstate that have never, NIAC is Greenwich Village on the Hudson. It's really eclectic, great restaurants, great community. It's a terrific place, and the NIAC club is really, they're really leading down there in Rockland. Okay, Cindy, I'll come to you last. Ed, I got. Peter, I got. Andrew, I got. Darcy, did I get you, Darcy?
No. Thanks, everybody, very much. Really enjoyed being able to be on here. I did just want to comment that we were supposed to have our first evening cocktail hour coming up the 23rd, and we were opening that up to all of the members in our local region. We are going to do so again as soon as we are able to do so. I enjoy the membership, and I'm hoping that we can actually grow and support our members, because this year we lost 4 members due to age-related conditions, none to COVID, but it's not been an easy year for us, and we've only been able to bring on 2 new members. So that's our mission.
Thanks. Okay, I just want to read what John McClellan wrote. We had the audio issue with him. Ann Molina, also of the Rotary West Point Highland Falls Club, discussed a few items here in Highland Falls. We also, as a club, trucked food to our main food pantry here, located at the Episcopal Church, headed by Pastor Judy Ferguson, who's a member of our club. And they're also bringing in 2 new members, which is great. Okay, Darcy, Andrew, Michelle. Whoops, I lost Michelle. Oh, there you are. Michelle, any last thoughts? Whoops, hold on, sorry. Unmute yourself, Michelle. Oh, there you
Hi.
are, Michelle.
Yeah, I've been sewing some masks while I'm listening. We're part of a big community group with some of the interactors as well. We've been also reaching out with our local food pantries, and the Interact Club actually is delivering and picking up food and medications for some of the at-risk in our community. It's called Rhinebeck Responds. And our president, Bill Schaefer, has been meeting with the mayor and a group of business leaders in the community to coordinate efforts. So, but got some great ideas today. Thank you, Larry. We find a lot of our meetings that we're having are the same thing, talking a lot about this, you know, and the present moment that we're in. But this is always wonderful. I always come away from these meetings with some great ideas. So thank you for that.
Great, thanks, Michelle. Make sure you tell Lewis.
Why is he's giving us a bad reputation? What's going
Okay, Steve's iPad.
Hi, thank you very much, Larry. It was great learning and seeing everybody, and I just wanted to remind everyone, not that you need it, to stay healthy and well, because if we're not healthy and well, we can't help others.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Sal, unmute yourself, Sal. There you are.
Hi, well, I want to thank you for having this. This has been very informative and very nice to sit here and see everybody. Yeah, you know, I find these Zoom meetings are very helpful in reducing that feeling of isolation, because I haven't been out of the house in 6 weeks. Anyway, what we're doing at Rotary is we're continuing to do what we've done. What we particularly important right now is we provide food with an arrangement we have with our local ShopRite. We provide food to 4 food pantries in our area, we're doing it. But one of the things that we found is that the food pantries, their biggest problem they have right now is many of these are church food pantries, and their volunteers that they rely on are of the vulnerable population. They're older and people that are not able now to volunteer and show up at the pantry. So I think there's an opportunity there for Rotarians to step up, those who can, and go down and volunteer at your local food pantry. We've been doing this with ShopRite for 12 years. They're going on 12 years. We estimate we raise about $50,000 in food a year with our food drives. And the other thing I want to say is that the new members we've been putting on, we've been very fortunate in the past 12 months. About 80% of them are younger people. And I love to tell our club every time we put on a young person or induct a young person that our average age has gone down now, and the average age has gone down to about 68 years old.
Okay.
So it's going down.
Thanks, Sal. Renee, any last thoughts? Renee?
Actually, no, but I have appreciated this. It's been very helpful. So we're having our first club meeting. I've had a board meeting with Zoom that went well, and we're having our first club meeting this coming Tuesday. So
Maybe you can get Jeff to run it since he's so experienced.
well, I know. Well, you know, we got him on the board, so this is good. He's gotten us some good young millennials that actually came to a Cocktails for Charity is one of the first ways that they came to join us. Which
Yeah, that's just like the vacuum, so to speak. I feel like C4C is the easiest way to get some younger folks to be exposed to what we are as a group, what we do as a group, and get to know us in our roles at Rotary and us as people.
Right.
So yeah, it's been very good doing unfortunately, obviously now we've taken a back seat on that. But I'm hoping that maybe with engaging guys on the Zoom meetings and things like that, that we can still continue on with bridging the gap, so to speak.
Now, keep in mind, those that aren't aware, Rockland County is, it's a huge, with the proximity to the city, it's a huge bedroom community. So most of our millennials are city workers, not like farther up where you have people that are working in the community. I know you do have commuters into the city, but you have a lot of millennials in Rockland that are all working into the city. Okay, Ed Lynch, you're up next. Unmute yourself, Ed.
All right. How's that?
Yep.
All right, great. Yeah, this was a great meeting. I think the sharing was excellent. As I mentioned in my text or my chat, I'm willing to stick around for maybe a few more items that you sent out in that email that we could review, because I really am interested as the incoming president to know more about membership. You started the meeting out with a few things that I'm intrigued by: the 5-year plan, the mission statement, and the value proposition stuff. We haven't done that as a club in years. I've been a member since 2008, and I think we did it once. So I think it's time for us to brush off the dust at that approach and try to do it again. If there's anybody on this call that could help me with that, I'd appreciate it. Because I think our club could really use that insight in how to restart our 5-year plan. One other thing that kind of jumped out at me, separate from what's been discussed but related, with this Zoom meeting format, and with the fact that we as New Yorkers unfortunately lose a lot of members to relocation, especially those retirees that can't afford the taxes up here. My thought is, and it only occurred to me because this week we had our second Zoom meeting with a former Rotarian who moved out of the area. Maybe a way to maintain membership is when people move, they don't drop their membership because they can have connections with us through that Passport Club concept, of which right now we're all Passport members with this Zoom concept. So we might be able to keep our membership numbers up. I'm a numbers guy too, Larry. I have an engineering background and I'm also a financial advisor. So I think it would be helpful to explore the opportunity with Zoom and this distancing through our Passport Club and maintain our numbers on membership, more importantly, for people that are interested in helping what we do. So when they leave, they don't have to leave membership.
Great. Thanks, Ed. Leslie, unmute yourself, Leslie.
So I just wanted to say this has really been helpful. There's been a lot of great ideas. Thank you so much. I'm glad I was able to attend today. Cecile's, the president of my club, so she gave you a lot of information on what we're doing, so I won't take time and reiterate that. But thank you again. I'm looking forward to getting some of these ideas into place for our club. And everybody stay safe.
Okay, thanks. Cecile?
I'm good.
Okay. Sorry, Cecile, I cut you off. You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Lauren, you're up next.
Okay, well, I very much enjoyed this. In our club, we had a setback with the shutdown, and then we have started Zoom meetings for a couple of weeks, and we actually had pretty good percentage attendance. And we have some people doing some things like making masks, buying masks. I'll let some of the other Port Jervis people talk about that if they want to. And we're also looking for ideas for what to do under these circumstances. So this meeting's been very helpful. Thank you.
Thanks. Angela, you talked about, I'll open you up, Angela, since you're Port Jervis.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. You know, really enjoyed this meeting because I got to learn and hear things from other clubs. For our clubs, we have been having 2 Zooms meeting so far, and the attendance maybe like 8 out of 16, 15. So far pretty good. And we have not doing too much about the food pantry. And then what we have been doing is I bought some masks from Taiwan, so I can share some with any clubs who are interested to buy those. Each one is $2.50. They are good quality masks and they are reusable. And so far I have like about 500 on hand for our area community, and also we can share some if any club they need it badly. And also another thing we are thinking about doing is having a thank you sign. Debbie got the suggestion and from Warwick, you know, and that is a very beautiful sign to put out to thank the first responders. Maybe we will think about doing that. And we might, you know, add other thoughts into our project. Thank you very much, Larry, and everybody.
Thanks, Angela. Carrie, anything from you?
So nothing much for me. I was just texting a couple of my other clubs that couldn't be on today. Okay. I did find out that I know Salad said they're working on inducting someone in the Carmel Club through Zoom. The Brewster Club has inducted a new member through Zoom about a week or so ago.
Great.
So it's really cool to see that going on. And I know a couple of our clubs here in Putnam, they've gotten some of the members who haven't been able to be at the meetings to be participating through the Zoom meeting. So it's something that we're looking at going forward when we start meeting regularly again, to actually continue some form of Zoom for the people who can't get to a regular meeting all the time.
Okay, great, thanks. I don't know who iPhone is. Not unmuting. Oh.
It might be Stan.
Oh, Stan, right. Stan, is that you?
Sam, S-A-M.
Oh, Sam. I thought it was Stan Martin. Whose iPhone?
That's Sam from Cook.
Oh, Sam. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. I just wanted to say thank you for hosting this. A lot of great information has come out of this. And Coxsackie Athens, we have done 2 Zoom meetings so far. Hopefully we can start getting more of our members to participate. And I try to reach out to our members via email just to check in with everyone. But this has been really good, and I plan to take this information back to Coxsackie.
You know, thank you, Sam. I want to put one thing out there. When you do have your club Zoom meetings, Cindy started this in the district-wide Zoom meetings. Get a member to do a Rotary moment at the end of the meeting, because when you hear some of them, it's really it's nice to know what Rotary means to a lot of your individual members, and when you hear how it's affected their lives, it's very encouraging. Let's see, did I got everybody? Cynthia, unmute yourself. Okay, any last thoughts, Cindy? And then I'm going to go back into the slides, everybody.
Okay. Yeah, before I head off, because I actually have to get to work, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's here. Your dedication shows, and our organization is really at a pivot point right now, and we've been thrust into this change with all these Zoom meetings and different things going on. And I think that our organization, I think that our district is going to come out of this stronger than it was, because we're learning how to engage our members in different ways. And already there are some clubs that have said to me, we love these Zoom meetings, and we've decided to now, go moving forward, once everything gets back to quote unquote normal, we're going to keep one a month, because it offers a different platform, a different opportunity for people. So thank you all for being on this meeting. Thank you for all of your input. And thank you for all that you do as Rotarians. I am honored to be your district governor, especially at this time when so many people need our organization. So thank you so much for all that you do.
Okay, thanks, Sin. Okay, just give me a second. I am going to go back to the screen share. I'm going to play a video from Rotary International President, if I can find it. Hang on. Share.
Friends and fellow Rotarians, our new strategic plan is an ambitious document laying out the framework for the Rotary we want to see in the years ahead. Its priorities are increasing our impact, expanding our reach, enhancing participant engagement, and increasing our ability to adapt. In all of these priorities, our members are key. For our members are the ones who do the work that Rotary is here for and create the experiences that make Rotary what it is. We need to grow Rotary. The stronger and more diverse our membership,
to follow up with
the
you
more
on the work we were
ambitious we
talking
can
about
be
on
in
the
our
trees. If you can, please give me a call back. You can reach me on my cell phone at 845-590-06.
Sorry, Jeff, oh, now you're, okay.
But a strong and diverse membership does not happen by itself, nor will it happen if our approach to membership is simply exhorting our members to invite their friends. We need to focus on membership in a way that is structural, not individual. Instead of asking, who do we know? Ask, who are we missing? What vocations? What organizations? What positions in the community do we need? And who are the people who fill those positions? Just as important, what value do we have to offer these people in our clubs? What do we need to do to help the people we attract to Rotary become truly engaged, valuable, and lifelong members? Membership is not just a priority in Rotary, it is Rotary. To grow Rotary, we need to give our membership the same attention we give to all our Rotary service, to all of the ways that Rotary connects the world.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the, okay, PowerPoint. So let me, okay. This is talking about club experience. Use what works, lose the rest. If it's okay to drop a tradition if it's not working anymore, and that's we have clubs that are, how do I say, elderly, that have been doing the same thing for 50 years, and it's always been that way. So now is the time to, if it's not working, let's continue. Give me a sec. I want to open up the, hang on a sec, because there's only 14 of us. I'm unmuting everybody. If you just want to step in, if there's something you want to say while we're doing this, I can. Okay, change the meeting frequency. We know all about that. Different locations offer different advantages. That's the cocktail hour, maybe. If you have not-for-profits in the community, you might want to have a luncheon meeting there or a dinner meeting one time. Change the meeting purpose, fellowship or hangout. Darcy, your dog?
I'm trying.
Okay, I muted you. Service project meeting, Rotarians Homes. We have a member in the Suffering Club during the summer. We have a barbecue once a month at her house. It's great. We're talking about the online meetings, and we're talking about satellite clubs. Invigorate and engage your club through service. Think big. like really big, buy a van, contribute to a van. What else can we do to craft the member experience? Younger members, we know that. Experienced professionals, senior and retired members. Rotary fellowships. If you don't know about Rotary fellowships, go into My Rotary and just type in Rotary fellowships. Same thing with Rotary action groups. Which of these social media platforms does your club use? Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I forgot what the last one is. Okay, theme meetings. These are great. Theme meetings. We had an outdoor meeting once, and we had a movie night. It was a sleepover in the shelter box tent, and we had an outside projection screen, and we had a night of James Bond movies. Young people that had never heard of James Bond, so it was pretty good. So theme meetings can be fun. Lunch with a leader. Bring in your community leader, present them possibly with an award for whatever they do. What you want to know about members. I'm more than what you see each week. Have a member speak about themselves. There's a lot we don't know about our own members. Mystery meeting. Don't tell them what the meeting's about. You plan it with someone and they get to the meeting and they'll find out what it might be. Rotary Jeopardy. Who wants to be a Rotary millionaire? These are great. Do something like this and challenge another club and have an evening program. You can get all these games online, fashion them to your own club or to Rotary, and challenge another club. Do it on a video screen. A lot of fun.
Larry, ask a question.
Yeah.
How does the cocktails for charity work? In other words, is it a fundraiser? How do they make a donation? I'm not sure how that works out.
Let me see if Renee is.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm still here.
Okay, you want to talk about it?
Sure, I can talk about it. In Nyack, we meet as a Rotary Club at our noon meetings at La Fontana Restaurant. So we have it there. We found when we tried different places, different restaurants, members would get confused as to where they were supposed to be. So we stayed at La Fontana. So people come and we pay for our cocktails. La Fontana, because we have meetings there, they're very good to us and they provide some hors d'oeuvres, free gratis. And then we have a 50-50 and a raffle for 2 bottles of wine. And so people come in and generally will give $20, $30, they'll buy worth of tickets. And you times that by 15, 20 to 25 people that come, then all that money at the end of the event, like one of the last ones we did was for, I think, Meals on Wheels. No, that's one that we're missing out on. But we do like for the Nyack Center. So we give them the money that is raised that from the 50-50 and the raffle for the 2 bottles of wine, as well as most of these organizations, we have budgeted either $250 or $500 on top of that every year to give to them. So then we're able to present the big check and have a photo moment at the end. And a lot of times the charity that we're offering or that we're going to be donating to will bring some of their people to that. And we have gained interest in new members. And so people kind of know that's a restaurant Rotary meets at and has cocktails for charity.
Okay, thank you. Is there a cash bar or is it is a cash bar, right?
It is a cash bar. Yeah, people pay for their own drink.
The money is raised through the raffle.
And the 50-50.
50-50, okay, thank you.
My club stuff.
We have, Larry, can you hear me or no?
Yes, Michelle.
I was just going to say, we do the cocktails of charity too, and we charge, I think, $15, and they get 1 drink ticket, and then the rest is on them.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
And do you do the 50-50 also on the raffle, or do you just do the?
Yes, they do that too.
Okay, thank you.
We tried that with Suffern. Unfortunately, we had moved our meetings to the Outback in Suffern, but they went out of business. But we were doing the first Thursday of the month, we did an evening cocktails for charity around the bar, and the restaurant provided us with finger foods at no charge, and it was a cash bar. We always invited a charity in, and the restaurant took a percentage of that evening's sales and donated that to the charity separate from us.
Nice.
So there are programs like that there. I don't recall the name of the organization, but there is an organization that you can sign up for. And when I find it, I will email it to everybody. But there are national organizations that team up usually with chain restaurants, and you pick a night and they will give you a percentage of their checks to go to your charity. So,
Okay, that would be helpful. That's great. Thank you.
Okay, moving along. So in the packet, you should have the membership assessment tool. And one of the first things is doing an occupational and classification survey. Years ago, this was very popular. It's kind of fallen off over time, but you can do a survey, an occupational professional expertise survey, and it talks about what are the current this is the individual members. You're retired, have you had other professions? But classification audit, that's real important. That's looking at your members and looking at their professions and looking at the surrounding community. Is there anything in the surrounding community that you're missing? There's one area that people always overlook. Every community has a mortician, has a funeral home. And every Rotary Club I've ever been to has a member, either an owner or an employee. They all belong to the Rotary Club for a number of reasons. It's I hate to say it, it's getting their name out there. And there are municipalities that have multiple funeral homes, but you always invite the funeral home director, and don't expect them to come to every single meeting, because business now's a bad time, by the way, but when things cool down, business, things may pop up on whenever your meetings are. But if you don't have the funeral director, reach out for them. Somebody in the club knows them from past experience. So that's always a great place to look. There's a worksheet in the packet. What are the top classifications of professions in your community or the surrounding area that are either not represented or underrepresented in your club? Diversify your club. Member diversity workshop. What worksheet? What sources did you consult in your search for data in your community demographic? You should know the demographics of your local area. What fact or statistic did you find most interesting? Finding new club members. Ask your fellow members about people you know in the community. Getting started. Ask members to complete the identifying prospective member worksheet. Make an action plan. Invite prospective members to a club event. Follow through. Here's your worksheet. And again, this is in the packet. Think of your contacts, acquaintances, friends, and family members who might qualify for membership in your club. A couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago, my club president at the time charged every board member. We have an 11-member board. He charged every member for the year to bring one new Rotarian in. That year, we had 10 new members as a result of that.
Wow.
So challenge your members. Community contacts, these are some of the top people that physicians, dentists, real estate agents, financial managers or planners, lawyers. Years ago when there were classifications, we got around it because the club would have 10 lawyers. So one was a bankruptcy lawyer, and one was a real estate lawyer. That's how they got around it. But every bank in our area, we have the bank branch manager as a member of our club. And usually the banks will pay, they usually pay for the membership. So improving member retention, conducting an assessment Review your club's historical and existing member retention percentages. Determine why members leave your club. Rotary research members who stay less than a year. Let me show you. Okay, this is member termination for my club. And this is off the district, I'm sorry, the Rotary, my Rotary website. It's under the club management, under the dashboard. This is available to every club. It gives you the 5 years from July 1, 2014 to the end of the 2019 Rotary year. Breaks them down, terminated for age, terminated for attendance, terminated for business obligations, terminated deceased. So in our club's case, we had 4 that passed away. Family obligations, they left the club. These are the categories that Rotary carries. Health reasons, joined a new club. They were part of a pilot program. A club merged, terminated because they didn't pay dues and Rotary terminated them, terminated for other reason, and the last category is terminated for relocation. So that, we all know from experience, if you don't engage them in the first 2 years, they're gone. And know from some of your members who are young, like North Rockland Rotary, their club president-elect. Well, the current year's president was elected president. Totals for the entire district. Club terminated 49 members, 0 for age, 0 for attendance. Business obligations, 197, 75 members in that 5-year period deceased, 72 members left because of family obligations, 30 for health, 46 for joining a new club. Now that's a number of different things. Clubs merged, clubs split off. So some of those members may actually still be Rotarians. Nobody was terminated because of a pilot program. Clubs merged. There were eight members terminated when a club merged. The 11 were terminated on the Rotary report for non-payment of dues. Other reasons, which when you terminate a member through the website, you don't put a reason, it falls into other, and 154 relocated. If a member leaves, it's in your best interest to do an exit survey. That again is in the documentation I sent. It lists all the reasons why they left. It's helpful for assessing what your club is, how your club is performing. Challenges faced by club leaders. 43% of club leaders say the biggest challenge is attracting new members. 26 said accommodating the varied needs of members.
Hey, Larry.
Yes,
Ed here. I have a question for the group. For those that have seen this done in their club, because some of them have never been president, maybe nobody on this call's been president, but maybe a couple of people. How many people have, and I'll ask Larry for your help if you can get a count here, how many have actually used surveys before their president took over?
Well, that should be the club health check. That's a big, when the president goes through PETS, one of the documents they give them is the club health check. And hopefully they'll perform that before they become president.
Well, I guess I'm talking as the incoming president here for Warwick. I guess really my point is last year, our current president did a survey and was frustrated because I think she only got back 5 or 6 out of the 60 or 55 members that we have even responded. I look at this survey that you provided, it's 30 questions. And of those 30 questions, about half of them have, more than multiple choice. Has anybody had experience of a shorter survey that maybe there'll be a response to get good, meaningful feedback in their club? I'm just curious. Anybody can chime in.
What if you make it part of your, your lunch meeting and make it a special event?
Well, I agree that might make sense to try to do it during the time we're dedicating to Rotary anyway. But my concern is people may not want to give candid feedback if they're doing it publicly.
Mm.
You might not get the negative feedback that exists. You
Well,
know?
I think, but if you give people the option to they don't want to do it at the meeting, they can take it home and then send it back. I mean, I've
Okay.
done Rotary meetings, and I find the only way they can be effective for me is to have them actually do it at the meeting. I kind of hold people's feet to the fire.
Okay.
That's
Thank you
my,
for that.
sorry.
Thanks for that feedback. Michelle, did you have something?
I was just going to say I did that when I came back from this last meeting, membership meeting like this last year before I went for the membership drive. And I said, I stood up at one of the lunch meetings and I had copies I handed out on the tables beforehand. And I said, listen, I want everyone in the club to be a part of this membership drive event. So I really need to know what it is you think the challenges are, especially because I was a fairly new membership chair at that point. And it was very helpful. I would say I had about 50% participation, and I did email it out as well. So for the tech savvy people, they could easily just, send it back that way. So I did sort of a double duty, but I did send out several reminders and stood up at a couple of meetings and said, it can be anonymous. You don't have to put your name on it, but just, hand it in or leave it on the table and I'll collect it at the end.
Ed, what may be helpful, Ed, that club health check, I think there's 5 or 6 individual sections in that. It's a 1 page per section. Do it in 4 or 5 consecutive weeks. Just hand that out and ask people to complete it and bring it back the following week. That way it's not 30 questions. It's a quick response. Or you can email it, but do one at a time, 1 section at a time. And I know the first one in the booklet is club experience. So you may only have to do that and not worry beyond that. So that's a possibility.
That's great. I also just had a thought, maybe for those who are not incoming presidents. Does it make sense to try to delegate that to the membership chair so you're not the heavy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Membership leads. Rotary gets membership leads, and these come through Rotary. 59% of the leads are under 40. 19,500 leads per year come through the Rotary website, which 37% are women, 50% have a personal connection to Rotary, and 71% are never contacted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
how do we get that information? How do we get that?
I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Prospective members, where do they come from? Prospective members, relocating or returning members, and member referrals. The path to membership. District reviews information and matches candidate with a club. Club contacts candidate and establishes a relationship. Club invites the candidate to join and update status.
My question is, and we had this happen with a recent RI referral that came through the website. Who is it that sponsors
this is what
that person?
Who is it that sponsors the person?
Is it the membership chair? Because that's who's getting the leads. I'm getting the leads from that.
Well, they all come into me as the district membership chair. I review them.
Yeah.
If the person has, if they don't have a club that they're looking for and they have a location, I'll forward that to the club president. Okay, the club president at that point is supposed to work with their membership chair. There are a lot of clubs that don't have membership chairs, so it goes to the club president.
I got it directly, I believe, from Cindy. It came from, I think.
Oh well, it comes through. Yeah,
as membership chair.
Yeah, it depends on. Well, that's your club. She's in your club. That's why Cindy would have gotten it. I get it. Cindy gets it. The AGs get it. So I review it and I forward it directly to the club. But since Cindy's the district governor, she would have gotten it and bypassed me and gone right to you. Okay. So.
Okay.
Larry, can I ask a question?
Yes.
What, in your experience, is the best way to look at the demographics in your area? What are the resources to do that? I just think that would be an interesting check, because I think our assumption in our area is that we don't have a lot of millennials. And I'd like to just sort of confirm that to see whether we're correct or not. So what resources do you use to, look at
What town are you again?
Millbrook?
Okay. Oh boy, everybody's here from now. I'm sorry, Michelle, you're Lewis's club, not Cindy's club. I'm sorry, Michelle.
Rhinebeck, right, Rhinebeck.
Right. You're Lewis.
Because they were asking me, well, who's sponsoring this new person? And I said, well, I don't know the protocol. That's why that was one of my questions for today.
I misunderstood.
Coming from them.
It comes straight through the Rotary website, and then we send it to the club. Okay. Is there in Millbrook, what's the closest college?
Are you talking about Millbrook or Rhinebeck?
No, Millbrook.
The closest college is probably Vassar College.
Okay, reach out to them. They may have a regional statistic on population diversity.
I'm thinking that Marist might be.
Or Marist too.
Marist probably is more inclined to have that kind of information. So
Marist poll is famous. They probably have great statistical analysis.
So that's a good suggestion. I'll contact Marist. Thank you.
That's what I get paid the big bucks for. Okay, so this is. Uh-oh, hold on, lost my. Okay, so this is how the leads come in to the district, and the district governor receives the email, the assistant governor receives the email, the district membership chair receives the email, and the executive secretary, which we don't currently have, but the district is going to start that. So the top 5 people, they can manage a lead. They can send it forward. And as far as viewing them, far as viewing them, officers elected and immediate past officers can view them too. Now, who can manage a lead? President of a club receives the email from the district. Membership chair, if that membership chair is identified in Club Runner and in RI, they receive it, the secretary, the executive secretary, and the assistant governor. They all receive the email on the phone. You see what level they can manage and who can view it. So there's a whole slew of people that can see this. Who are the prospective members? Membership leads under 40, 63% versus 5% of 20 current members. 35% through membership leads versus 21% of women. 50% hear about Rotary through a personal connection. Let me jump in for a second. There's an area that every time I do a seminar, we're missing an area, prospective members, the parents of RILA kids, the parents of children that are awarded scholarships at the end of the school year, the parents of interactors. You definitely, if your club sponsors an interactor or a Rotaract club, invite the parents to an event. Their kids, and the RILA kids, everyone that's been in close contact with a RILA kid comes back at the end of June after they've spent their week at RILA, and the kids are as high as a kite. They want to change the world. And the parents don't understand what's going on. Another thing I want to try to get out there, a Rotary honorary membership costs you $12. What does it get in the honorary? You get once a month, you get a copy of the Rotary magazine. Get the names and addresses of all of your outgoing interactors and your RILA students, and get them a copy of the magazine. They may not see it at home, but the parent sure as heck is going to see the magazine. They start reading it, and there's a whole group of people that have been untouched. So that's real important.
Larry.
Yes.
At my membership drive event that I did in February, that we invited all the parents of the interactors, and it was great because they had just come back from a meeting, a couple of kids, and the parents were there, and they're both going to join. Of course, this whole thing happened, and they're business owners in town, so that's kind of difficult for them right now. But they had nothing but glowing things to say about how their child came back from this event and was so enthusiastic that they wanted to join Rotaries. That's why they came to the membership event. And I did take that whole list, and now they're part of my prospective member list, which is great. So that worked really well.
Yeah, we've actually had some people join that were RILA parents, and also the parents of students who'd gone out on exchange programs,
Yes.
and also a couple who were hosts for a student through a Rotary Exchange. So we, luckily for Millbrook, that's been working for us.
It's an untapped area. So membership leads, unfortunately, of the almost 18,000 assigned to districts, 62% were never contacted by the district, and 77% were never assigned to a club. This is worldwide. So these numbers are over over 36,000 clubs. How you can help respond to all inquiries, even old ones, and aside leads to clubs you know will respond. So, excuse me. How Rotary helps with the membership leads. They review leads and assign them to the district. The district reminds district and club leaders to take action on older leads, responds to candidates who write with questions or concern, and we reconcile duplicate records. So this is what a lead email would look like. Goes to the club president, secretary, membership chair, executive secretary, and club email if applicable, with a CC to the assistant governor. That's forwarded from the
I got to
district.
run. Thank you. I got to go.
Oh, you have to leave the show?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, thanks. I'm recording this.
Thank you.
So hopefully, and then what I can do, if you'd like, oh, she left. I'll send her the slides. So membership lead page. This is, every club has access to this through Rotary. When these are sent on to a club, this is what the spread looks like. And you can filter by prospect type. This is the inside of a record, okay? So it gives the person's first name, their email, their phone number, their profession, their age range, where they're looking for a meeting, what meeting day, club meeting, and any comments they may have. So in the upper corner where it says manage status, when I get this at the district, as the district, I will click down the manage status, and then I will send it off to the club. If I want to see what status, okay, candidate sent back to district for reassignment, district assigned candidate to club, so it was sent to the club if there's any feedback. The club contacted the candidate, that's the club's responsibility to put that on their history. Candidate attended the meeting and candidate proposed a club candidate for membership. So these are all in the leads that we forward to you.
Well, let me just add to Larry, because I get like you said earlier, as an AG, I get the leads at the same time you do. Yes. And I'll also end up calling the person myself to make sure, even if I know they're right for a Newburgh club, because that's where they live or work, I make a contact with them, and then I change the lead in the system to be forwarded to the club just like you do. So I think the two-phase approach of having multiple people talk to the candidate helps, because it builds enthusiasm. And like you were saying earlier, these are usually the people we want because they're under 40, they're female. I mean, they're hitting the right characteristics of the club members you want. And so it helped, the multiple contacts I think helps.
What's been going on lately, there's a glitch at Rotary International with the leads. They have been sending us every lead for New York, New York. That's the adjacent district, 7230. They can't fix, people put in New York, and for some reason, they send them to us. So when I get those, and Peter, you get those too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we get 'em.
I immediately reassign it to I send it back to Rotary International with the correct district. So I don't forward those to any clubs, but the AG will see those. So that's done in error. Status options. So these are all who can, the district and the club level, what can be done. The district cannot put in that a person attended a club meeting, proposed for membership, admitted to club. Once a person is admitted to club, they're taken off the lead page. Admitting a candidate, so change status, club admit a candidate, you put the day in, and by selecting submit, you're removing the candidate from your membership leads. You can still see the lead in your historical data. And if you want to put a sponsor in, you can click the sponsor in your club. Viewing current and past leads, that's through My Rotary, manage club and district administration, manage membership leads. That's all right up there. Reporting officers, club and member data, club administration, delegation. Okay, if you don't have a membership chair, but you want to delegate somebody in your club, this is through the My Rotary, not through the district. You can click delegation, and you can delegate a role of somebody to receive membership. And you can also change ones that are sent to you. Next step, tell others about the advantages of managing leads. Tell your district that your club is looking for leads. Make sure your district leaders know what your club offers candidates. Make a plan for managing leads and encourage new leads by linking to rotary.org/join on your website and social media. Take your club into a new direction. Okay, this is the flexibility. This is the different club models that exist out there. We have the traditional club, and the column on the right tells you what the minimum number is to start a club. So the lowest number is for a satellite club. Rotary Club sponsored by a traditional club, but with its own meeting, projects, bylaws, and board. Those who want a club experience or meeting format or time other than what's offered by the traditional club in the area. So this form is in the packet, and you can click these links, and it will take you to other information.
Hey, Larry?
Yes, sir.
Question. Given these constraints on numbers of people, can a satellite club be an e-club?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, a club, your existing club can start an e-club for former members if you want, or, it's slightly different than a passport club, and it only takes eight members. In Rockland County, we had a Clarkstown Sunrise Club, and we had a Congress Valley Cottage Club. Congress Sunrise, they folded and merged themselves in with Congress Valley Cottage. Now they call themselves the Clarkstown Club, and they started a satellite club for dinner meetings. Their regular meeting is a lunch meeting, so now they have alternate, I don't know what day of the week, I think it's Tuesdays. Alternate Tuesdays. One Tuesday they'll have a breakfast meeting as the satellite club, then the following Tuesday they'll have a dinner meeting, and the traditional Congress Valley Cottage Club still has their weekly luncheon meeting. So, that's one reason to start a satellite club. The E-Club you have up there, Passport Club, which I'm real big on. Corporate Club, my club has corporate membership. We were in the original pilot back in 2013. We have two corporate members. One is the Salvation Army School for Officers Training, of which there are 4 members, and Good Samaritan Hospital, of which there were 4 members. We used to have the local hotel where we met also as a corporate member, but they left. So that's kind of wide open the way a club does that. And there are some clubs in the district that do it very, very open. We want our corporate members to be invested in the club. They go through a Rotary information. They are getting information from Rotary International. It's not just a corporate member that says, well, I can't come to the meeting. I'm going to send my secretary who really knows nothing about Rotary. So we'd like to see them invested in what Rotary is about.
Larry, I thought that possibly the way a passport club worked, well, or let me rephrase this. I thought there was going to be some sort of a hybrid. So for example, we could have a traditional club, but then we might have some members who might be under the jurisdiction of a passport club. But it looks like from what you're showing us, they're entirely distinct clubs.
Yes.
Is there any, what I'm thinking of is like Friends of the Library. You know, we have members that we've lost that due to time constraints can no longer participate fully in Rotary, but they would like to be involved. They'd like to do things. And it seemed, I thought that the Passport Club would fit that.
That's perfect for them.
But there's not enough of them to do an entire club.
No. The district is starting a passport club.
Okay.
Okay, we're about 8 members away from having our initial 20. The format for that club, when we're finally in place, it will meet online quarterly. Once a quarter, they're required to have a meeting. During that same quarter, members are required to do 20 hours of community service during any quarter. And we'll keep track of that through the website. That is, the 4-way test. It does not have to be Rotary community service.
Right.
It can be their church, their synagogue, Meals on Wheels, whatever they want. It's a total of 20 per quarter, 1 meeting, which we will hopefully have an in-person meeting somewhere in the district. But in the absence of people being able to attend that, we'll do it on a laptop with Zoom at the meeting.
Yeah. See, Larry, I was thinking in terms of being able to bring back some members to our club. I wasn't thinking that they were going to have to be part of a larger, newer club. To me, it would be more effective if I could have an option like a passport membership within my club, but have them do those things for my local club. I'd have a way of bringing them back into the fold because a lot of them want to be involved in our community.
You can do that, but you have to have 20 members to do that.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
a lot of the passport clubs in the country are started by a single club. But the ones I've seen are, large cities that may have a 250 member club. So it was easy for them to start a passport club. But when we get the district one up, I'll give you the applications you want to, and the cover letter, talk to them about it. But it doesn't stop them from being, they're full members of Rotary International. They pay dues. What we're doing though, the district passport club, the first year's dues are being waived for anybody that has not been a Rotarian for 2 years. So first-time Rotarians don't pay the district dues. They still have to pay the RI dues, but the district is supporting them. We don't want to start the passport club at the expense of existing clubs losing members. And a member can't be a passport club member and an existing club. They want to stay in touch with their existing club. They can become an honorary member from their existing club. So in the packet, you've got this document which explains passport clubs. What are the benefits? It's flexibility, engaging meetings, broad appeal, more connections, stronger service projects, and affordability.
Larry, I just wanted to say, I'll send you an email about it, but I feel like there's a more effective way for my club to operate if that was a little different, but I'll send you an email. Maybe you can share some of your thoughts with me.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. This is all about the satellite clubs. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Did hold on. Okay. I'm sorry, that was passport. These are satellite clubs. There's full documentation here. When a satellite club grows to 20 members or more, it can choose to remain a satellite or to sponsor its own club A satellite club doesn't have its own charter until it makes 20 members. So you may want to start a satellite club to your club and make it be a sort of an e-club. So that might be the option to you. You only need 8 members. So that could be an option.
All right, that might work.
Yeah, so this is all about satellite. Take action, learn, ask, visit. Together we connect. This is, I'm getting to the end. Oh, this is a new member orientation PowerPoint from Rotary International that I have in here. When you have new members come in, my club has a very formal PowerPoint. We sit them down for 45 minutes before or after a meeting or just potential members. And they get a PowerPoint of about 30 slides explaining to them what Rotary is all about. We talk about the Rotary Foundation. So we give them a sheet as to what the costs are and what their requirements are. So they know what they're getting into before they become a Rotarian. This is just our process of new members. If you don't have anything like that, on the Rotary Learning Center, there is a Discover Rotary stock PowerPoint, which you can adopt. This is the PowerPoint. It's only a handful of slides. Here we are. Talks about the history, impact, talks about polio, developing young leaders, why join, make a difference, grow leaders, learn new skills, connect across contents. Did that say continents? I never, this comes from, okay, that's right, continents. Build lifelong friendships, join our global network, interested, Rotary join, and then you put your club information in there. So this is something that you can sit down with a laptop in an office or after a meeting or before a meeting. We traditionally do this. I have the people meet me an hour before our regular luncheon meeting, and I go through it with them. And they're very grateful. We had a member that came to us from Lions Club, and he said if he had done this before he joined Lions, because he walked right into Lions having no idea what he was joining. He said this was great for him. We are people of action. Deliver on your promise to your club and your community. Together we inspire, connect, transform, grow Rotary, and that's it. That's all I had.
Great job. Thank you.
And thank you all. I did record this. I don't know anything about retrieving the recording, but I think we can make it available on the district website. If anybody needs further documentation, in the invitation, you had all of the documents. When I did an in-person seminar, I would have binders with all of those documents, and they got them. We were supposed to do one in Fishkill in March until everything hit the fan. But traditionally, I do two a year. I do one in October up in New Paltz, which is my side of the river. And then I do one in Fishkill. Last year we did it at the 84 Diner. This year we were going to do it at one of the hotels in Fishkill. So when things open up and we're able to do that, I will still continue doing those. So anybody have any last thoughts? Anything they may want to share?
Larry, just want to thank you again for, doing this presentation. I did have to, kind of do some things while I was, but I was listening in on what you were saying. I think that it is important to be able to engage newer members in creative ways. I am trying to do that the best I can in NIAC. So I do think, are you going to post this somewhere? We can kind of revisit your slides or something like that. Yep. That was a thorough presentation. So, I'm glad we actually got through that as well.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, Larry, I have the same comments. Awesome job. My only ask is when I look at the many different documents you emailed to us, I don't know if those wonderful statistical slides are included. I'd like to get those to present to some folks in my club.
Ed, I'll send you the whole PowerPoint and you take the slides you want.
Oh,
Great, thank
could you send that around? Would you
Yes.
mind doing that, Larry? That would be good.
Yep.
Yes,
What
that would
I
be good.
actually, we'll post it on the district website. So it can be
Okay.
downloaded from the district website, okay?
Okay.
Ed, you said you used to be an engineer?
Yes, I have an engineering background.
What type of engineer?
Well, first ask which college. That's important.
College.
I went to Lehigh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have an industrial engineering degree. I worked in power plants. I did a lot of capital construction work for Con Edison before they blew up in the 90s and changed from being a producer to pipes and wires.
I went to Northeastern.
Oh.
Okay.
Started out in civil engineering, but I couldn't cut the, I tried differential equations 4 times and had trouble with it. So I went into transportation management, but one of my freshman year roommates was in power systems engineering. Northeastern had that. And
Okay.
he ultimately was the chairman of the president of NYSEG, I think. I'm not sure, but the New York Power Authority, maybe. But
Gotcha.
how old are you, Wade? Because my closest friend through high school went to Lehigh also, electrical engineering.
I graduated there in '83.
Okay, you're a young guy. He graduated in '74, like we did. Okay.
I was in the Army Corps of Engineers for 28 years too.
Fort
I'm a
Belknap?
retired lieutenant colonel. I was in the Army for 28 years. 24 of those years was as a reserve officer. And that's where I got most of my civil engineering experience.
My daughter's currently in the Air Force, and she was in Fort Meade in Maryland. She's in Intel.
Okay.
I could tell you what she does, but I'd have to kill you.
There you go.
Now she's in Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, but she's been all over the place. She's 34, spent a year in Korea, 4 months in Afghanistan. It's real interesting. She's got a civilian job in the Air Force, plus she's in the reserves. So it's
Gotcha. Well, she can tell me things. I had a top secret clearance. She can tell me things she can't tell you.
everything good with you. Thank you for staying on, everybody.
All right, well, thank you.
This was
Okay.
really helpful.
Nice job.
Yeah, very helpful.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Wash your hands. Bye-bye.
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 Bye.
Bye.